Stuka Joe here from the Siege of Vicksburg, and we have Trent Turner. Good evening. Fort Worth, Texas, relatively close from here. Nice to see you, Trent. So we're here, and today's Saturday, the second day. I was battling with some technical issues here. Finally, it's running, and now all the wargamers went to have dinner or lunch or something. We got people here, but we're gonna walk around the tables. This is here, we're in Vicksburg. The hotel oversees the Mississippi River. See if I can give you guys a view of the venue here. We got Epaminondas Leuctra from Spain. Viva España! So we have, this is tabletop gaming. There's minis, there's venture gaming, there's wargaming. There's some interesting war games like this Guadalcanal game being play tested and to be published by War Dairy magazine, and the editor he's going to be here, so I'll be hopefully interviewing him tonight. So we'll have some coverage about this game. It's very interesting because it reminds me of the old Avalon Hill Guadalcanal, which is a game that was published in 1963 or 64, and it was when you think about it, the old Avalon Hill Guadalcanal had unit reduction, but you kept track of that in a piece of paper. Now, of course, you have counters and you flip them, and then if there's more than 2 steps, and there's going to be another counter. So it looks very nice, and I mean, it's a magazine game, so it looks even nicer for a magazine game. So looking forward to that. There's going to be some, I think, Civil War minis. So they have this table here. They're going to, I don't know if they're going to be playing this tonight. So this is, we got Groucho from France. Wow, we got Spain, France, and Texas in the house. Nice to see you, Groucho. So I hope the audio's okay. The video is what we would have. We're having problems with the Wi-Fi here. It may be a bit choppy, but This is the smoothest that I can get, so. These are things of live YouTubing. So here we have that. That's that table. There's, for example, there's this company here, Warlord Games. It's basically minis of all times here. You have ancients. This is like 30 Years War, Napoleonics. And you have all sizes. I think they have 15 millimeter, 13 millimeter. Oh, Dante Edmundo. It's been a while, Dante. Nice to see you. Video is choppy, yeah. I thought so. As long as the audio's decent, you know, it'll be worth not deleting, I suppose. So I'll try not to move the camera too much. But I can't do it more. It's the Wi-Fi here, so. So here's the Warlord collection. You got naval minis. They got from all kinds of. Yeah. Of course, my channel is a board game, war game channel, but you see in conventions you see minis all the time, and any minis about Spanish Civil War, I haven't seen any. There's a lot of Napoleonics. You got Civil War. These are 13 millimeter, and I think they're plastic minis, and they bring a bunch. Maybe I'll do a video one day of the minis that I painted, because those are lead minis. But these are plastic, right?
Yes.
These are plastic, yeah.
These are all, the Black Seas are all plastic.
Okay. And these are naval 1/700s. Let me see. 1/700 scale. You got a whole fleet here. So that's Black Seas. There's World War I tanks. Let me see. What kind of? Yeah. Got this little trench works. Got Eugenio Maria Pacielli. Buonasera. Now we got Italy. We got Italy, Spain, France, and Texas. It's a worldwide phenomena here. So thanks, guys. Thanks for dropping by. Now this is a game they've been playing here all weekend. This is an air game.
We are on. For sure. Yep. Good luck, man. Have fun. You too.
This game's called Blood Red Skies. So it's air combat, and they got World War II, they got Vietnam, I think they got modern. So here you see the B-17. This one's painted. They come like this, unpainted. You got that P-38 there. And they've been active. That table's been active. We'll show you. See what else we got here. I think that's the Saber, right? I don't know much about Korean war jets. That looks like a Dornier 17. This looks like a Spitfire. Corsair. That looks like a Corsair. Oh boy, this one looks like a Spitfire too. That looks like a MiG back there. Yeah, painted there much nicer, but yeah. See, the thing is, I once bought a lot of 15 millimeter Civil War figurines. After I painted 200, I wanted to play World War II. So that never took off for me, but it is, a lot of people like them.
Yes, sir.
And this system uses cards for, I think, skills and things like that, right?
Oh, let me move this away. This is our playing card. I'm flying the A6M2.
Oh, got the 0.
So it has a firepower rating, agility rating, and a maneuverability rating, or speed rating. So the speed is how many inches you can go.
Okay.
And then it's going to be different. Each card has traits for the plane, which either are going to be negative for zeros, and then they're going to get special cards as they go from there.
Negative is the color coding is negative. The
Correct. When it's negative, you only get one card, but it applies to all the planes.
Oh, okay.
And it's usually something bad.
And you're flying how many zeros?
6. 6 zeros against 6 BF-109s. Geez.
Something happened to the Axis Alliance here. Somebody said something they shouldn't.
We didn't like it.
Okay, so you got the zeros, and I noticed that they have the. You can tilt them when they're climbing and tilt
Correct.
them
So
down
there's
where
three
they're.
different aspects of what they call advantage, which takes all the altitude and maneuvers into play. When it's back like this, it's called advantage. When it's in the middle, it's neutral, and then when it's down, it's disadvantaged.
Oh, disadvantage. Like, are you familiar with the DVG? Well, the what do you call that game, that card game that play them DVG?
I am not.
You're not okay. They use the same.
But it's probably very similar.
Yeah, they use the. Well, yeah, they use that. You can. So that I suppose the disadvantaged planes they move first, and then you can.
Well, the way it works is you're going to go. Actually, the advantage planes will move first because they do all their action. They're going to move and shoot, or cause one of our planes to go lower. So you'll do all the advantage planes, then all the neutral planes, and then all the disadvantaged. And it could change throughout the round depending on what happens. So I could have an advantage plane, and then he does something, and now he's disadvantaged.
So the
And then he
position changes, and that the order of movement changes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And I see these are what cloud. You can't move through those.
You can move through the clouds. You just there's once you're in a cloud, you cannot do your pilot action at the end. There's pilot actions you can do. You cannot do that. And also, when you move through the clouds, you become neutral. Whether you're disadvantaged or you're advantaged, you're going to move to the neutral state.
Oh, okay. So I got some like
You
some
can't
things.
do line of sight through clouds.
Oh, okay.
So they can be good, they can be bad. Just depends.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, he's going to go here. He's just going to turn his 45. So neutral.
Let's see here. These are all the same kind of games. I forget the name. But everybody's playing these games with these characters like they fight in the middle. I don't know if any of you guys know the name of this game. Seems to appeal to the younger folks. Let me see what we have. Blood Bowl. Okay, that's Blood Bowl. That's what it is. It's like it's a Blood Bowl tournament.
I'm gonna save my one real. I might get in a
Okay. Let's go to the Wargaming section. I think the Wargamers are out to lunch or something. Yesterday I played this game and I somehow won. This is an old SPI game called Cemetery Hill. And yep, that's Blood Bowl, what we were watching on the other side. This is Cemetery Hill. This is an old SPI game. This is obviously the version that's been blown, enlarged because of the map. This is a folio, one of those quad games, and the counters here are They're made out of foam, really thick. I'd say they are 3/4 of an inch, made out of foam, which is kind of like the new thing. So they're really thick. They're easy to read. So that's good. Okay, it's good to know. Thanks, Groucho. And so I have some of these games, and we were playing to see how historical the outcome was going to come out, but it didn't.
Never had.
Here's my Confederate opponent. Carl, how you doing? We're live here.
Oh, wow.
We got
How many watchers?
we got 11 people who are watching this. So
Yeah, it's never turned out. Well, it's turned out properly. Lee can't do it.
yeah.
You know, the Confederate Army just isn't big enough.
And what's funny is there's one unit that begins exposed totally, right? Which is that one gets a 3-to-1 surrounded attack, and still Lee can't get. Confederates can't get through Gettysburg on the first day.
No, I was thinking of doubling the attack strength of the Confederates on the first day only, just to see how if that would let it open up the battlefield just a bit.
Okay.
But I say if we play it again tomorrow, we'll try it that way. I'll do it myself at home that way. I don't.
You got the Road to Richmond, right? You got that one too.
I have the folio if you want to try and play it.
All
I
right.
don't have an enlarged version yet.
Oh, you don't have any large. I mean, after you play like this,
You can make any of my maps for me, Carl.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this is just.
I won't.
I just take it
I
to
won't
the,
object.
you just take it to the people that do your local architectural and builders.
You told me that. I need to do
Well,
that.
he's live.
Okay, at the end, we're live.
I'm educating people on how I did it,
We're
and they can do it. Costs about $10 to do a map this size.
$10.
If
Oh.
you've got the original map, obviously.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, I noticed. I placed my hand on the map to touch the fold, and this is the copy of the fold.
correct. I've had this game for 40 years now.
No, so it looks very nice. It's
The original copy is 40 years old now.
I
And as you see, I'm in the process of cutting out the counters for Marengo.
oh yes, this is Marengo SPI. Yeah,
Yeah, from the Napoleon at War quad.
those are what, the Austrians?
Yes. And I have Arnhem has been done.
Oh, Arnhem. Yeah. Oh, what's that box that you have? It's really funny. That box of counters.
What box of counters? Oh,
Let me show my people this. Don't get confused. This is not a quad or something. This is Cemetery Hill and what?
Wurzburg.
And Wurzburg. Okay. And you had another one with Arnhem and Chickamauga, right?
correct.
Okay. That's an interesting quad.
Yeah, well, it gave us a little bit of variety and only, one box of counters and 2 folios to carry around.
Yeah.
And just the way I thought back then.
So how many blow-ups have you made games?
Half a dozen, I think.
Half a dozen?
At least.
And it cost you like $10 per each counters and map, or?
Well, no, 15 or
15?
so with the counters.
Okay.
Depends on how I did the counters, because plus, there's ancillary stuff like, tools and things.
Oh yeah.
But, $15, $20 should take care of it. Oh,
Okay.
plus the copies of the rules, that's...
Okay. That's it's always good to have extra
yes,
copies of the rules.
extra copies, so I don't have to... But let's see, there's Muckton, there's Wurzburg, there's Arnhem, Cemetery Hill, Dark Nebula from GDW.
Okay.
Made some extra ships for that one pretty readily. A couple of others. I don't even remember what I did.
Is it like your favorite from each of the quads or something like that?
Well, that's what it's. Well, I say I did Cemetery Hill because it's Gettysburg.
Yeah.
It has and nobody seemed to have any problem sitting down and playing it. Arnhem was obviously the best of the West Wall quad, and Wurzburg is the favorite was my favorite from the modern battle quad.
And Arnhem, is it the whole market garden or just the Arnhem area?
Just the whole market garden.
Oh,
whole
cool.
market garden in 2 hours.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yes, I mean, you know, there's something to be said for some of these old school games.
Yeah, it's surprising. Some of them are really good.
Yeah, Arnhem is one of the better ones, supposedly.
Okay.
I've played it many times in the past. In fact, if we got a table, we can spread it out. We'll
Oh,
spread
sure.
it out on top of.
I don't think nothing's going over there in Guadalcanal.
Yeah, we'll put it on top of Guadalcanal.
This is the map for Arnhem, the quad. And brought, of course, 3 more games, but this is the
Yeah, the best balanced.
So
You
let-
know, the most
so where-
recognizable. Okay, what I did, I highlighted
Okay.
the supply zones of the
Okay.
airborne divisions. You can see there where I penciled in the drop zone center, where the drop zone counter. You get a little drop zone
Okay.
counter, and the airborne units are supposed to stay within 7 hexes. And this was a highlighting I did on the original map, so there's no undoing it.
Okay. So this is we're watching. This is Arnhem here. So Nijmegen is going to be
Here's Nijmegen.
not around here, and
Here's
then Eindhoven
Nijmegen.
over there, right?
Yeah, and I
So we
know
would
way back here.
let's put the camera where the 30th Corps would be, which would be like down here, I suppose, right? The British.
Correct.
So start here.
Are you going to be here tomorrow?
Maybe half a day because I gotta go back to Jackson for my flight.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, we can get it out and set out. You know,
Okay. Well,
would you like to play Arnhem, sir? Flashback to flashback 40 years.
this is. I'm looking for Eindhoven. Where is it?
Eindhoven is.
Oh, okay. So the map. Okay, so Eindhoven is here. So
Here's the road.
this is the road then, right? This is the road.
correct.
Yeah. Road, and you got Nijmegen over there, and Oosterbeek here. I remember that scene in Bridge Too Far, where they're going to explain the Polish battalion, Polish brigade, where they're going to land. Oh, it's not on the map.
No, actually.
It's they end like somewhere around here.
Well, no, that's
The Polish.
I've got the starting German positions marked too.
Yeah.
Their drop zone was right in here.
The Polish?
Yes.
Oh, that.
I'd have to look at the.
Wow. So they had to walk,
I played it a couple of weeks ago.
and they had to cross the river, right? To get
Correct. And the way
And they got
the
slaughtered.
game is kind of stereotypical. You get John Frost and is it the 2nd or 3rd Battalion
Yeah, he's at the bridge. Yeah.
into the bridge here, but nobody else can reach. Nobody else has the movement, and the Germans then kind of German reinforcements enter here.
Oh, cool. It looks like I love these maps, these SPI maps. You know, with so little color, they did so many things. You know, they're very clear and ambiguous. Everything's so clear. Yeah. Really a joy to behold. So, thanks, Carl.
You're welcome.
Okay. And I know they're playing this game here. This is Pursuit of Glory. This is game using the Paths of Glory system, but focusing on the Middle East, the Balkans. And this one is another one of those huge overblown maps. See if I can. Just a second. Gotta put my microphone on again. Okay, so this is just to give you an idea here. These are, I think these are like an inch and a half. This is a Turkish. This is just a replacement marker. I may not move things around too much because so you see the track here, war status. Dante, no Polish jokes. I'll lose my Polish subscribers. Okay. So here we have the cool thing about this game is the Gallipoli map, and it's pretty detailed. You got, I'd say, about 20 something spaces here. You got, where's Anzac Cove? It must be some, yeah, here. Must be like here, yeah. This is where they landed. So you got the Turks here. Interesting. I suppose you can do some really interesting battles there. Got the Gallipoli insert map. You got situation in Greece, Salonika. You got Bulgarians fighting. You got the Turks here, hanging on to their European territory. The Romanians are still, they're in the fight here. And there's some Germans and Austro-Hungarians. Serbia here, so. And of course you have Anatolia. You have the Turkish-Russian front, and it's pretty significant. You can see there. Got a pretty significant amount of units. You have Persia here, which is neutral. Really interesting. You have Iraq. What else here? This is Mesopotamia, so you can recreate that. You have all the Turkish fronts here. This is the area here in, culminated here in the Siege of Kut. So you have the Persians here. I think you can even, you have, see Saudi Arabia, anywhere here. Aqaba, I think is the name. It must be here somewhere. Can't find Aqaba. But here we have Mesopotamia. Oh, Aqaba is here. We have Arabia. And here's Medina. Aqaba, here it is. I think this is the final city or strategic point where you see in the movie of Lawrence of Arabia. This is the one that they capture from behind, coming from the desert, because the guns were pointing to the sea. So I think this is the fortress, and it has some writing there. I don't understand what it means, symbols. Okay. And we got here Palestine, Jerusalem. We got Syria here, Damascus, Antioch. That's where the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch, a Monty Python movie. And it continues here to North Africa. We got Egypt, Libya, and so there's a lot of territory here. I have this one, but I've never played it, and but I know GMT made the GMT hasn't made yet for the CDG solo system. They haven't made the play sheet for this one. They made the one for Pursuit of Glory, which is the Eastern Front, their Eastern Front game. So this is a really nice enhanced copy there, and of course it's a card-driven game. And there are the cards. So these cards, they have sleeves. Looks very nice.
Barbarossa.
Is this a Japanese author?
No, he publishes. He works for the editor at Compass. And he works for. He does the Japanese magazine.
Oh, cool. It says Command. It has a Command magazine logo, but
But he also published separately.
oh, okay.
It's a separate game.
So this is a Barbarossa game.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Any explanation?
Sure.
All right.
Let me put the microphone between us. So
I'm on the setup right now. All right, so there's two commands.
yeah.
There's the Northern German command and the Southern German command, and whichever player commands the Southern German also commands the Northern Soviet, and whoever commands the Northern German forces also commands the Southern Soviet.
This is like the battle for Germany. Remember that SPI game? Yeah.
Yeah, so you're playing two sides here, and you have victory point hexes you're trying to seize, and your job is not only try to get those victory points, but on the other side stop your opponent.
So that
from
implies
getting
that there was backstabbing. That implies there was backstabbing on the German high command. How that can't be.
And as far as movement goes, mainly for the Germans, you can either move and assault all your forces or assault and move. So that's different. And assault can actually occur in the movement phase. You can
Okay.
do what's called a mobile assault into a city or a clear hex.
Yeah.
Or you can do a regular assault during the combat phase after movement. And there's some unique features. One is the Soviet breakout. At the moment that a Soviet group or unit is cut off and surrounded, supplies cut off, they then go to the Soviet breakout table. All right, and
okay.
see how many units. And there's on both sides for each player. So it's a carbon copy of all the charts on both sides. These are upside down for you. These will be straight up. But there's a Soviet breakout table, and how many units to break it out? You roll the die. That's how many step losses the Germans receive, and then all the Soviet units are.
When you mean break it out, so you have some units on the map, but you resolve the battles with other units that you break them out.
You stop immediately when the Soviets are surrounded. They don't have a supply line to their to their supply source, which is the end of this map, eastern edge of the map.
Okay.
And so that's different, right?
Yeah, that is.
So one of the jobs of the Germans is to create pockets and surround them, and eliminate those pockets. What are some of the other things? Let's see. Soviets can stack up to 3 units deep. It doesn't matter if they're corps or armies, and that's the unit size, of corps and army size.
Okay.
And the Germans can't stack. They're 1 unit per hex. And you have 2 types of units, basically mechanized and
This would be
unmechanized.
what? This is an infantry corps.
Well,
right?
that's a corps. And it's step losses. So if you take one of these, for example, a 10, it'll go down to 9, all the way down to 0. There's 5 units
okay, so
representing this.
You use change. When it goes down to 6, you just substitute the counter.
Right, all the way down. The Soviets have replacement units, so they keep a dead pool, and they get X number of replacement points per turn, and you rebuild up your units. The Germans start with a set number of replacement points, and once they're spent, they don't have any more coming in, so you can rebuild.
Yeah, I see here. This is the German Northern Command replacement
Yeah,
available.
that's the Second Army Corps. The Second Army, German Army. That's the only reinforcements coming in. All the other German units start on the map. And then here are their step replacements. Here they also have air that can be used to supplement your.
It's a nice looking plane. I wonder what kind of plane is that.
It's a Stuka. It's a Stuka, stupid Joe. And
But it's the best plane of World War II. But I know I may be biased.
so there's actually 30 pages of rules, but it's well written, and I couldn't find one error. I think there's a difference.
But you say you can assault or you can move. So assault means
You make a decision each turn. I think the first turn is automatic, assault, then move. But
Oh, okay.
thereafter, you make a decision for all your forces on your command whether you want to move then assault, or assault then move.
Okay, the sequence. Okay, you change the sequence.
And
Assault.
there's some follow-up movement if you have movement factors left for mechanized units.
And you can't cross this line?
No. There's one exception where the Southern Command literally borrows 1 or 2 Panzer units from the Northern Command. It's going to cost them 1 victory points to their opponent, and then the Northern Command can take them back the next turn. But you may need that extra oomph to take, say, Kiev for 3 victory points, and it costs you 1 victory point.
So the juicy targets here are Kiev. You have, I see, that's 3.
Sevastopol,
Rostov is how much? 2.
2. These are all 2s. This Sevastopol is 3, but it has its own independent supply because of the naval here and defense unit.
Oh, okay. So we got. So I wonder if it's balanced because you got to have the same kind of points. Oh,
Yeah,
you got
there's different
well,
things.
Leningrad is 3, but this is Hail Mary here.
There, for example, I think the Northern Command has 2 air units, the Southern Command has 1, but then the Southern Command gets to borrow a Panzer unit,
Okay.
to steal it for a turn from the Northern Command. So there's little balance here, back and forth. It's not exactly the same.
There was an army group, I think Center, which had 2 Panzer groups. So who has Army Group Center here?
Well, he explains that. It's using different terms, but basically Army Group Center is
in the south.
Well, obviously there's only 2 commands here. You got Leningrad up here and Sevastopol, the Crimea down here. So, where it's basically he's taken a little liberty with not following the historical 3 commands. There's only 2.
Okay, you got to split that
Right. It's a
that
very
army group because that one's. I
playability.
think Center
is
was even the biggest one too, right? I think in terms of Center was
And I'm just looking through. It reads really fast. There's sudden death victories if you capture so many points by a certain turn. That can take place.
And of course we got these fortifications here.
That's the Soviets, and that's only in the north. That's going to give them defense bonuses.
Yeah, this was before Moscow and got Tula there.
You have mandatory attack in the first turn by the Soviets along the border for certain units. Some of them don't have to attack, but they're forced to attack. And Germans have to keep a continuous line because if there's any point where the Soviets enter across this, it's an automatic Soviet victory. So you can't leave gaps.
Yeah, you can't let them march into Warsaw, the Soviets.
You got to maintain your line. Zone of controls. There's no Soviet zone of control. The Germans do exert zone of control,
Okay.
and that can, that can affect supply lines.
These are the Soviet.
Yeah, right. So this would be the Southern German Command is in gray.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And the Southern Soviet Command is going to be in this yellow.
Yep.
As far as
And German
Germans,
Northern
this
is
the German
black.
Northern Command, and this is the Soviet Northern Command is in red.
Okay.
But yeah, it was dual produced, I think, for the Japanese Command magazine, and then they produced it separately.
I can see the attractiveness of the game because in Barbarossa, only the Axis is attacking and the Soviets are defending. So here you have both players doing both
And
things.
you don't necessarily have to defeat the Soviets. You just have to do better than your opponent. And it's only 6 turns. So it's really a
Here's the turn record track.
1941 Operation Barbarossa. In relative terms of war games, it's a fast war game.
And you said who's the designer?
Thai bomber.
Ty Bomba.
Yes.
I should have known. There's no movement factors on the counters.
No, well, it's not interesting. So check your turn track for the year, and they'll tell you what exactly the movement is for June 1941. This
Oh,
is the,
okay.
mechanized. Well, let me reach over here. It's opposite of you, but the Germans will have mechanized movement of 4 and non-mechanized, unmechanized is 2. Soviets 3 and 2. So it differs depending on the turn. So July, mechanized German units go up to 6. Soviets are at 6. So he has the movement factor not on the counter. You know,
Yeah.
Ty doesn't put his movement factors on counter,
Yeah.
doesn't like to. They're on the turn, and this impacts what you don't have to have a separate weather chart.
You have the effects of weather already
Right,
baked
yeah,
in.
It's baked in
Yeah, that's cool.
to the turn.
So who has the nukes? Come on, it's a Thai bomber game. There has to be nukes.
Let me see. I think it's one of these pages here. Last. I know it's in here.
There's no
somewhere.
optional rules for nukes.
Yeah, I think Jack Green put an ad right Quarterdeck International right where it
Okay.
was. So I think it's in the Japanese issue.
Yeah, I think the only game he didn't put nukes was Antietam, but I'm not sure. Maybe he had some optional rule there. And I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I should have known this. It's a single number, but the production looks very nice.
Yeah, very good production.
Very nice looking counters. They're pre-rounded.
Very underrated game. I
And
mean,
that-
he's done what 30 Barbarossa games. So this is.
But this is the only one I know that uses what I call the Battle for Germany system, where
Nice, unique systems for
Yeah.
everything. It's just a little nuance.
so it's always I think wargaming has evolved to such an extent that you can have tons of Barbarossa games because they're all different in some way mechanically or in how they emphasize on one aspect of the campaign over others. So it's always. The Barbarossa is like it's a campaign you can trust. You know, it's like the D-Day in Bulge. So, and this is a Japanese publisher. Then?
No, it's just he has published. He had the Command Japanese game. I don't know if that's still in existence
Okay.
or not. This might, be out of print.
That's why it has a command. I think he has that. He was the owner of Command or something. Yeah.
I'm trying to see where.
What's the year?
Well, that's a good question.
It's published by Quarterdeck then.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, that Jack's around. I'll ask Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, ex-Jack.
That's. It looks interesting. Thank you very much, Etienne.
All right, you're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. Okay. So that looks interesting. So I want to see how that Guadalcanal thing develops. I'm going to take a break, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Let me see. I got your comments here. See, John Sai from the Philippines. Yes. John, it must be like morning over there. Of what? Sunday. So, good morning, John. Game is Illusions of Glory. I probably said the wrong name. Yeah, Illusions of Glory is the one on the Eastern Front, right? This was what? This is Pursuit of Glory there. Okay, yeah. And Illusions of Glory has its dedicated sheet for the CDG solo system. That's right. You want to learn to play it? Oh yeah, this just looks like an interesting. So I got John here from the Philippines. Man, we got an international. Oh, we got New York Raider fan, also. Got Dante, Michael. Oops, here we go. I'm using an app where your comments are really, really tiny, but I can see them. Okay, so we've been for 43 minutes, covered I think like 2 games. But I'm waiting for the folks there at that table. That's the Guadalcanal table. And Jack Green will be around. Jack is playing here. And Jack was very kind. He gave me a game which I'll be making a video from my hotel room, which for some reason in these conventions the Wi-Fi in the hotel room is brutally good, better than in the venues for some reason that I can't understand. But okay, we'll be back. I'm gonna take a little break and I'll be back with you guys. So, we got Justin Penwith. Have you gone to the USS Cairo exhibit yet? No, I'm trying to see. My plane leaves at 5 o'clock tomorrow, Sunday. I would have to see if I can go somewhere tomorrow morning, but I don't know if I'll be able to make it. So I went downtown last night to eat, and I saw a lot of the old buildings. It's really, it's a really interesting place. They have a brewery here, and so that was my historical sightseeing. I haven't gone to Champion Hill or anything. I brought a Vicksburg game which I played, but we had a lot of trouble with some of the rules. So I don't know if I'll talk about that in the hotel room. I'll show you the game. So here we are. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Going to take a little break, and I appreciate we got still 15 people here. So I'll leave you with the outro, guys. So I'll see you in a little while. Thanks for watching, guys. This catches the sound better.
Yeah.
Because I have it on my neck and people start talking, I'll just use it like this.